Good evening, everybody. This is Chris from Country Boy Conversation, and we have two special guests tonight. We got GERYL from Midwest Night Watchers, and we got Jane from
Midwest Night Watchers.
Well, Midnight Watchers too, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Chiro Sounds.
And Chiro Sounds, yeah. Yeah. Me and Brown Dwarf was talking when I had him on here. I said, I tried that Tibetan bowl on TV and on YouTube.
Yeah.
Said, you can feel that all the way through your body.
Yes, you can.
It's weird. I thought something wrong with me or what, but you can feel from your head to your toes.
Place it on your back or your hips, or you have a sore knee. Yeah, you can just feel that vibration go all the way through that body. It's amazing.
It is. I never did try it, and I said, I'm going to try to listen to that and see what happens.
Yeah, you go back. You go back through literature and history, and you'll find out that frequency and tone or sound healing has been a major part of all cultures from way back. I mean,
thousands of years.
Even in I don't know, the European, like the UK, you know, they have all these big cathedrals and fancy, you know, churches, you know, but if you look into the design, they're all set up to bounce the music or the hymns. You know, it was actually meant for healing for your body and your soul. It wasn't just, you know, just to be ornate and pretty and stuff. It was actually had a function to the inside of the whole building. In the same way with the pyramids and all the temples, you know, back in Greece and Rome, they were set up the same way. They had a specific structure that would resonate and bounce the sounds off.
Wow. So there's this sound therapy. It actually heals your body.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm about to do it some more. It just felt funny the first time. It was like, woo. It's supposed to
whether you use singing bowls, you know, and just have them close to you. You don't even really have to even have them on your body. I mean, if it's a deep, thick muscle like your lower back, it's nice if somebody will place it on it, you know, and ring it and let it vibrate through. But just doing it yourself, you can just move it around your head, you know, or around your shoulders or stomach or your own legs, you know, and it's amazing how frequency will penetrate through your body. And of course, we're made of water, you know, majority of our body's water. So water is a good conductive of sound.
You know, I know I've heard of people having them kidney stones, and somehow they put you in some kind of stuff, and I guess it's a sound frequency, and it breaks up the stones.
Yeah, my father had that done when he had kidney stones. He went to the hospital there, and they put him in a great big water tank. Well, I think it was saline solution or something. It's kind of a salt water.
Mm-hmm.
And they just had this tone generator, and they could focus it on whatever area they wanted, and it just broke it right up.
Yeah,
he couldn't pass them for some reason, and after he had that therapy done in the hospital, he only had it done once. He never had kidney stones again.
Wow. I wonder if they still do that.
I think so. I think they still do it. I know my uncle had it done. He said it worked like a charm.
Wow.
And if you look up online, I can't remember his name. There was a guy where his wife had cancer, and they couldn't figure out what to do with it. He literally took pots and pans out of his kitchen, was experiment with it with a sound frequency, and he killed the cancer cells in his wife in his home with this frequency and this everyday normal pans and stuff that had the right hertz to it that would ring out and amplify that sound coming out of it, and he destroyed the cancer cells in her body. But then I don't know, something mysteriously happened to him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, well, I've read articles that the singing bowls and the frequencies does break down cancer. That they don't want that. They want everybody on medicine.
Oh, yeah, so they can get rich off of us.
Yeah, definitely. They don't want anything like this.
Yeah.
And you know, there's got to be something to our bodies and frequency, because you know they're getting ready to break out 6G for our cell phones.
Oh, really?
And they're going to use our bodies as an antenna and to store excess energy or the what is it from the cell towers. We're going to resonate that stuff
Wow.
in our bodies, and almost like we're going to become a battery or power source for our own cell phones.
That's
Wow.
just crazy. That can't be good. I mean,
No,
I wouldn't think so.
not good on the animals too.
yeah, because they said that don't the cell towers kill the honeybees that produce our honey? It
Yeah, they
does
were
something to
saying that
the.
when they truly come out with the 5G and turned it on full force. I don't know if they've done that across the whole U.S. or not, because they were stopping it around the airports and stuff because they didn't know if it interfered with the technology and the radio equipment on the airplanes.
Wow.
So I don't know if every area actually has a true 5G,
Or just
Yeah,
the big cities.
but they were saying, birds were being affected, the honeybees, all kinds of wildlife were just, and they were saying around the cell towers, a lot of the wildlife was actually leaving the area. So I imagine that was, they were
yeah.
sensing it and it was affecting them. So they were trying to get away from it.
Well, I've noticed less bees and butterflies and things like that especially this summer.
Yeah. Cause
So,
we would collect, butterfly eggs, from was it the monarch or no, the swallowtail,
yeah, the cocoon.
and we'd hatch them or save them till the next year so they could hatch out. Well, we didn't have hardly at all butterflies yet show up in our
Mhm.
yard.
Wow. Come to think of it, this year we usually see butterflies by now, but I haven't seen any.
Yeah, I've
We,
seen very few.
when
Yeah,
we got,
very, very few.
when we got some flowers planted, they usually come to. But I don't know. That is strange now that I think about it. No hummingbirds yet this year either.
I only have, I think, one pair. I know I have a male and female because he was kind of singing along with her the other day. So I know I got a female, but we normally have at least a couple pairs. But I think I only have one male and one female.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I know
it's,
my grandma. She's really into them. They're like her little pets that she takes care
mhm.
of. She puts
Yeah,
some bees
Yeah,
out and all that
yeah. We
stuff.
make sure there's food out for them every year, and we'll have maybe 3 or 4 that stay here the whole
mhm.
season. Then we have migrators, obviously, and some years we'll have, well, I don't know, 20 of them
Migrating. Yeah,
migrating
at
and
the
they'll
end of the
come
year.
in. But this year we don't hardly have any hummingbirds.
Yeah. I think I only have, a male and female. We might have a few, they're going to mate and have a nest. So we'll have a few towards the end of the summer. But yeah, normally I have like 3 or 4 and they're fighting already. And I haven't even heard one fight. So yeah,
Wow.
So obviously something's going on, whether it's frequency or sound or something else is changing their migration pattern or
hey,
hey, north.
Yeah, there he
hi.
is.
So something's affecting the animals, not only humans, but the animals are sensing something, whether it's the 5G or whatever's in the air, or maybe it's the chemtrails. I don't know.
Could be that too. A lot of
Yeah, could
trees are
be.
dying off.
Yeah. Well, I know I seen an article in the paper the other day. Something about the spotted lantern moth.
Mm.
Uh, they're real pretty. Honestly, they really are. They got different colors on their body, but they said they kill them as soon as you see them.
Oh
Because I
wow.
guess I think they're something like did you guys ever have the gypsy moths out there where you live?
Yep, we had
They eat
gypsy
the
moths.
trees.
Mm.
Yeah, but we had them bad here, and I think they finally did something, and they're going now. But I guess these spotted lanternflies are just as bad or worse.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Mm.
But let's jump into some UFO stuff because I know you're a night watcher, so
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's both of our channels, and it started out when we already had the binoculars just playing around with them, but hello. But once we got our Psionics camera, uh, we could just see so much better and so much more, than the binoculars. Then we, realized that one night I saw something strange in the sky, and I really thought, oh, it's just another plane. And it got closer and closer, and I realized it looked cigar shaped. So I ran inside and got the Psionics, started recording. And at first I was thinking, oh, I just want to listen to Elon Musk. But I'm thinking, we've seen them. They normally go up northwest. Well, this was coming down south, yeah, southeast, or coming out of the northwest. And it just started going like at a diagonal. And I'm thinking, well, okay, Elon Musk don't float along at a diagonal. Then I got over our house and it just disappeared. So then we just kind of talked like, well, let's start a YouTube channel. And we thought of a name. So we came up with Midwest Night Watchers, and that was our very first video that we uploaded. So then we figured out the settings and got black and white, and I started capturing all kinds of things up there with power-ups and 2 or 3 of them going by. And he works midnights. Well, actually, not second shift. And he walks in at midnight, so he misses out on a lot of this.
Right.
So he helps me with the editing and breaking down. If we get meteor showers, he'll go through the footage and break them down in the little shorts. So then, about a year or so ago, he enjoyed watching me in chats. So he started going in chats under Midwest Night Watchers. And I just kind of stuck with Hero Sounds. So it just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let me show a video here. I hope it don't mute us. Last time it muted us when I tried it.
Well, it's not very long, so we'll just talk after it's over.
I think this is the first one you sent me. Oh.
Yeah, that's the drunk one.
Yeah, you might have to play that again.
Yeah, I mean, it just was like, it got kind of crazy there at the end, it was kind of wobble. That was fast.
Well, I should explain, my ATM binoculars, you can see bugs and orbs, but on the psionics, I don't see any bugs and I don't see any orbs. So this is on the psionics. So it can't be a bug up there. So we're not quite sure what happened.
What kind of camera is that? Is it like a special camera for night viewing?
Yeah, it's a psionics night vision camera.
Yeah, it's made. It can record and take pictures and just be a viewer during the day also. But the special features, they have a special lens in it that has a coating and a light source. It has an infrared light source that'll illuminate in the night, and it really goes down like a real low luminance if you know anything about cameras or anything. So it takes very little light, so the stars just really shine and twinkle in it. And the weird thing is that whatever technology they have in it, almost allows you to see more than what the human eye would. So there's like stars up there that we can't even see, even on a bright, dark night that the stars really come out. That psionics just makes all these stars just pop out of the background.
Yeah, when I was watching, I did notice you could see the stars twinkle, and there it was pretty neat. But here, let's look at this second one. This one's like 15 seconds long.
That's a nice power up.
Yeah, that's so weird that we'll have those come through and it looks like they're real dim. You can barely see them. Then all of a sudden our eye will start picking it up, and then it starts getting a little bit brighter. Then all of a sudden it's just like a flash. Then it goes back down dim again, and then you don't see it no more.
Yep.
Wow. That must be a heck of a camera. Because it really is really clear too. I mean, it's clear as a bell.
Yeah, and that's the Psionics Aurora, just a base model even. So there's a Pro out there, and we haven't bought it yet, but we're looking at buying it or maybe another camera besides that. Because we'd like to try to experiment with some live video going on our YouTube channel or even Facebook, our Facebook group, under Midwest Night Watchers, and let people in our chat and stuff talk to us while we're watching the same thing they are, real time.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really
That's
cool.
our goal for this year. Hopefully we can get it done. And so far we haven't really picked out a camera. And unfortunately, the psionics, so far we haven't figured out a way of doing it. And I called technical support, and they said, no, there's no real way of doing it. But, there's always a workaround. So we'll try to figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way around everything. Just YouTube it. That's what I do.
Right.
If I can't figure it out, I YouTube it.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I just went out there, put them on the tripods, and I just hit record and walked away.
Yeah.
And we did have that on our show that, it was kind of like everybody was watching. And there was all kinds of movement, and everybody was enjoying themselves. Like, oh, there's one in the left, there's one in the right. So for right now, I can do that. I can just hit record and, we
Walk
can just
away. Yeah.
upload them and everybody can watch together on our show. But yeah,
That's
hopefully we'll
awesome.
figure out a live broadcasting.
Right. Right. Now this one's 25 seconds. I think this is one with the Big Dipper.
Yep, that's the Big Dipper.
Now, if you can see all those coming in all at once, they just appeared
Yeah, I see that.
right
Yeah.
before the handle. Then they kind of fade out once they get into the pan.
And they're going different directions. There's like 2, 3, 5, 7, and it was going on for a whole hour.
You can see them. They're everywhere. They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
And not only are they coming from the the west to the east, coming into the Big Dipper, but some of them were going down,
Yeah,
and
different
some of them were
directions.
going at a diagonal. I mean, if you watch the whole video on our YouTube channel, I mean, you just start counting them. We counted like 7 of them all at one time moving.
And that was just short videos. That was going on solid, just like that, for an hour, and then it would stop. And it was going on for like 5 or 6 weeks, and then it stopped doing it. So I don't know what happened. I'm going to wait here in a couple months. It will be about the same time. The Big Dipper is going to be at about in the same spot. Right now, it's still kind of turning around and spinning down.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't explain it. I don't think they were satellites. Why would we just see them in that one spot?
They don't,
Yeah, they're like bunched together,
Yeah.
Yeah, and satellites usually track, like one at a time, and it goes in a straight line. And then Starlink, there could be multiple satellites and they're spaced out. That's why they call it Starlink train.
Yeah, they follow each other.
But they're all in the same row, the same longitude and altitude. They're going exactly the same. Whereas you saw that video, they're all up and down from each other. And some of them are a little farther behind, some of them are ahead. But you don't see satellites in a pattern like that.
Right.
No. And it was moving pretty good, too. I mean, at that distance, they had to be moving pretty fast. Now, this is the one that blew my mind. I still can't figure this one out at all.
You can notice there's a little flash of a light quite a ways away from.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Out when I hit that video. But that is amazing. I mean, that thing's huge. Whatever it is huge. It is massive. It looks like one object, and with a little round dot, red dot right, or a dot right at the end of it.
Yeah. So we, once again, we looked up, on the apps and on the internet, and we couldn't find anything from Starlink, being launched or going across the area, because the apps will track it and tell you, okay, when to go out there and look for Starlink coming across your night sky. And, we looked up satellites, couldn't find anything for satellites, Starlink. And then the only clue that we had is James saw the video from
Yeseti Ranch. James Gittleland saw the same thing, and he uploaded it, and I saw the video. Then about 3 or 4 days later, I just kind of went, no way. So when I got to Psionics, started filming, I sent it to Journey to Truth right away and talked to Tyler. And I said, doesn't this look just like James? And he went, oh my gosh, it does look like James. And they ended up uploading it to their channel. And so then shortly after that, that's when we started Midwest Night Watchers. We just uploaded it and started from there. But I mean, there's just no way that's Elon Musk. I've never seen the train moving at a diagonal like that and then just suddenly fading out and disappearing right above our house. Put the psionics to your phone. We tried that.
It works a little bit, but it's hard to hold it there. Or I mean, we bought more tripods. We're going to try to line them up with tripods and see if that'll work. But
it's not picking up close. We close enough together to actually look like a screen. So yeah, we did try that.
But the psionics will broadcast. It creates its own Wi-Fi network to our tablet, so we can see on our tablet what it's showing through the lens. So we just need to figure out how to do a screen capture or share that screen.
But then we can't go on live because the Wi-Fi is interfering with the psionics going to the tablet. So then we can't get on StreamYard and get on because our Wi-Fi is being taken up. So we're kind of baffled right now. We're still trying to figure things out.
We'll figure it out, or we'll just get a different brand of camera. It might not be as nice, maybe, but we'll still be able to do a live use one way or another.
Or maybe there's something you can clip on your phone, that's out there that, that can do the same things. Who knows?
Right. Do you guys get a lot of UFO or encounters from other people out that way, and you're part of the woods? Or?
Well, we don't really hear about it very much, or personal accounts around. But if you go to all the websites, and stuff, or if you go hit the right places on the internet, you'll see, Chicago, going into Chicago over airports, over all that stuff, or some events going on. You always see quite a few reports of UFO activity or strange stuff.
And I'll tell you right now, we've been here. This is our 19th year in this house. And for years, we wouldn't even see a satellite. This just started about 4 or 5 years ago. And I know the flights to Chicago, in and out, and the Quad Cities. Peoria, Illinois is close also. Here, the last couple of years, I noticed these little lights, like satellites, UFOs, but they're around the planes at times. Sometimes they're in front of the plane or on the side following them, or they'll power up and real bright behind them. You know darn well these pilots are seeing things they are not allowed to report. I see it with my naked eye. That I'll watch the planes and I'll look all around them, and sure enough, a lot of times I see something going by them. They're messing with the planes.
Yeah, but they're probably not allowed to say anything, like you said.
Right, they're not allowed to. Yeah, they'll lose their jobs. Mm-hmm.
I just wonder what they do see up there that they don't tell us.
Yeah, right.
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now you got that guy that come out, that whistleblower, and he's talking. It seems like everything's like going crazy right now. The weather's kind of messed up. We got UFO sightings everywhere, Bigfoot sightings.
Oh yeah,
old man.
Yeah.
A lot of people are starting to see UFOs. It's not just us. If you spend, not just 10, 15 minutes and go, oh, I don't see anything, and go inside. No, I'm out there for 5, 6 hours. Once it gets dark, I lock up the barn animals. I'm sitting out there and watching the first couple stars show up, and I'm out there until he shows up at midnight. And then I'm out there, and times, it's like 1 o'clock, and he said, hey, I'm going to bed. And I said, okay, let me go to bed. And you guys spend hours out there to the point that your neck is just sore and stiff.
Right.
You're just watching all the time.
We were using gravity chairs for a while.
Yeah, gravity chairs is good. Just kind of lean back, but you get that UFO neck. It's just like, oh.
Yeah. That's hard.
But you got to spend a long time. You just can't go out and say, oh, well, I'm not seeing anything. I give up. Because they know that. They know your intention also.
Yeah.
But
so in the UFO community, well, even in the cryptid community or paranormal, there's been a advancement in the sightings, and there's just been more and more occurrences, and if you talk to the people, not necessarily on live streams or anything, but behind the scenes, if you start talking to your friends, and we have friends in all the communities, and we start talking to them, and everybody's kind of in agreement that there's a reason why this is an uptick. Why is all this activity happening? So everybody's kind of speculating that they're coming to see an event happen during our lifetime or coming up soon, whatever that is time period for them, because obviously there is no real time, man put the clock to and calendar to our time. So, but according to everybody we talked to, they're all coming in for this activity to see some kind of major event happen.
Right. Right.
They could be that they're upset that we're not having disclosure. So they're going to say, okay, well, we're going to start showing up to more people and we're going to be disclosure. Now, how can you shut up millions of people around the whole world that's starting to see these crazy things up there that we know are not satellites?
Right. Right.
Now,
Yeah,
my opinion, if you see anything super low, it's either something that lives on this earth or it's our own government.
right.
Now, way up there, I think they're higher dimensional beings and they stay up there. It's hard for them to be a higher dimensional being to go down to a lower dimension.
Uh-huh.
So that they're up there, higher. So to me, I've never seen anything super low. But if I did, I would probably say, that's probably our government.
Right.
Then even my own theory kind of, you have different terms for, it's not just all extraterrestrial or UFOs. We have ultra terrestrials, which are spirits or say like fallen angels or any kind of entity that's like that. So, I'm not so sure some of these flashes or say like an orb,
Right.
it's something, maybe there's some kind of spiritual or dimensional being that doesn't need a spacecraft or anything. Maybe it's just a spiritual.
Yeah,
right. Some of these lights, it looks like they're actual like a light, not a ship. So, are these just nothing but balls of energy and orbs? I mean, are they able to transport, just turn themselves into an orb and travel? And they're not just a ship up there. So, is that why they changed it instead of a UFO, flying saucer to a UAP? It is almost like a phenomena. I still want to call them UFOs. I don't like
I do too. Yeah, and the orbs are different colors. The orbs are different colors
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like blue and orange and white.
Yep, different colors and different sizes. And you see UFOs with the orbs. You see Sasquatch with the orbs. People have seen aliens come out of orbs. So, I mean, are they fairies? Are they past pets? I mean, there's so many different things that could be. Someone in someone's chat one night made a comment that could it be people remote viewing? Could they turn themselves into like an orb? So nobody really knows.
Right.
Yeah, the remote viewing is very interesting to think that you're sitting here remote viewing an incident or an area or whatever, then all of a sudden maybe your essence or your spirit is actually showing up
astral travel
to somebody actually there in that time period or that time frame seeing it, and it's actually you remote viewing that incident.
Well, in space there's no time. They keep explaining that when they're up there they have no time. They don't understand what we're doing with time. They can see past, present, future. So could it be past loved ones reviewing something that they've experienced from the past?
Yeah, it makes sense.
There's so many different things that I don't think we'll ever know exactly what orbs are.
Not till we go to the other side, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. That's for sure. Carson said.
Yeah, and the different colors could mean different. Yeah, I've heard many shows that we've talked about. Are the colors a meaning of something else? What do the colors actually mean? And I've seen one orb with my naked eye, and that was about a month ago. And we had some storms coming in. It was about 2 months ago then.
Yeah.
And because we haven't had rain in about 8 weeks. And so, I mean, it was really low clouds. So it was not a plane. It was not a lightning bug or anything like that. But it was an orange orb underneath the clouds moving along, and then it disappeared.
Wow.
So it was I can't see stars or anything. I mean, the cloud cover was really thick that night. So, and I just kind of went, oh my gosh, I think I finally saw my first orb without having my binoculars. Right. But it was orange. I don't know what orange means, but I know what I saw was orange.
Yeah. I've never seen one. I don't think. I don't think so. I mean, I've took pictures of stuff at night, and you get them little round balls, and
Right.
Yeah.
that could just be from your camera. But some people say, it could be an orb, but
Yeah, you're never quite sure unless it's a solid orb that has a distinct color, whether it's red, green, whatever color they come in. And some of them are almost like a see-through or a
Hmm.
one, So I mean, they're just all different kinds of orbs, and they're just kind of crazy and kind of interesting to check out, And if you go online, like we have or everybody, you'll see people have their theory on what the colors mean and stuff.
Right. But how is anybody going to really know for sure? I mean, that's just, I think it's people's opinions.
right, right.
Now, I can't, when I use my ATN night vision binoculars, I can see orbs in this field. And I can tell the difference between bugs and the orbs. The bugs are
Uh-huh.
solid white, and bugs, they're drunk. I mean, bugs scatter.
Yeah.
These things come out of the field and then take off, or you'll see them floating along and stop and go down into the field. They'll come up in front of the camera real close and then disappear. So that's definitely not bugs. But I just wish I could see the colors. This is definitely through my, the IR with the binoculars.
Wonder
And
why the
some of them
IR
you can
picks it up.
actually go ahead.
Wonder why the IR picks it up. Is it got some kind of? It just picks up
I'm not
better.
sure.
I don't know. It's weird because a lot of stuff, even paranormal stuff, they use
Yep.
IR and lasers and all kinds of stuff to tell if they're there or illuminate them. And I don't know what it is. It's something about
Yeah.
the light spectrum. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's picking up something that we can't see with the naked eye. Because
I'm just
the first time I looked through those binoculars, I just freaked out just even seeing more stars. But then when I started seeing the orbs, I went, oh my gosh. So I played with the focus back and forth and, making sure it's not dust, and I can tell that, bugs are solid, like I said, lightning bugs, they blink on and off.
Yeah.
So when you see something the size of a basketball head towards the tree line and go up and over and then down, that's not being out of focus, especially when the
No.
tree line is actually in focus with the binoculars.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's pretty crazy. You guys
I'm
might
just
have.
waiting for the day when technology catches up and then they can advance our light spectrum that we actually see as a human, and we'll be able to see.
Put some glasses on or something.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean they should be able to expand our wavelength that see during the light or during at night even, and be able to see these paranormal things by putting on the glasses or orbs or whatever is coming through. Whether it's the next dimension, able to see through and see people actually pass through your living room, that we don't see at the naked eye. They're there. Maybe technology will advance us so we can see that.
They don't want us to see that, though. They still want us to think that we're crazy and
Oh yeah, that we're nuts. Yeah, we're seeing
right.
things.
Yeah.
Carson said many spirits are believed to travel within orbs as a
Hmm.
means of movement place to place. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably
And
some truth to that.
past pets and just all kinds of things. Is it our loved ones coming back visiting us? It could be many different things.
Yeah,
Right.
because we're all created and we're all energy. I mean, everybody agrees that we naturally have energy in our body. We actually
Hmm.
our body uses an energy or a power source, that goes through our nerve endings into our brain. That's how we function is. And so we're energy, and if you go by the theory of law, you cannot create or destroy energy. So we got to go somewhere,
Yeah.
whether we pass away or whatever, or it's like I said, a spiritual being or another dimension, and they come in. It's going to be in an energy form, one way or another, and an orb or a light ball would explain that a lot.
Yeah, this is just a meat suit. The thing dies. I look at funerals and deaths so differently than other people. I think it's just their body that died. They do not ever die. They just move on to a higher place. Some cultures around the world, they celebrate when they pass away because they know they finally reached their reward and they've moved on to a higher dimension.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
this body wears out. You know, it's gone, but our spirit, this energy continues.
You know,
right.
we put our own emotions and attachments to the human form, the human
Hmm.
body. Like me and Jane, you know, obviously love each other. You know, we care about each other greatly, but you know, our essence is really our soul, our heart. You know, that's what we are. So you know, when somebody passes away, you know, and if you believe in the afterlife or believe you go to heaven or whatever your belief is, you know, you should be happy for that person that, okay,
Right.
especially people that have been sick or hurt or whatever, you know, okay, they're not feeling that pain no more. They're free and they can travel and experience whatever you're allowed to do on the other side. Or
Hmm.
I mean, it's actually a joyous moment, actually, but we're the ones that put the sad aspect that, you know, we
Right.
lost this person that we've been with, you know, for 20 years or 30 years. And
Yeah.
But I feel like everything is connected, and even with our friends and family, when they pass, they're with you inside. You know,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
if anyone who's a Christian, you know, if you ask Jesus into your heart, that's the heart chakra area. That means
Hmm.
God's in there, the Holy Spirit's in there. And every time I lose a friend or a loved one, you know, like an aunt or an uncle, I sense them inside. It's like we're all going to be one. We're supposed to be one body. And I think that's what the Bible is talking about. When we pass, we are individuals, but we are all connected into one. It's like the ocean can be droplets of water. You put that drop of water, it turns into that ocean. It's one, but we're all individuals.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I sense that every time I lose a loved one, even my uncle about a month or so ago, I just sensed that, you know, he's inside, you know, they're with us. We're connected.
Yeah. 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 I
you
mean,
know,
ain't there a
we've
verse in
talked
the
to
Bible?
people.
Wasn't there a
I'm
verse in the
sorry.
Bible? Wasn't there a verse in the Bible that says, "Don't mourn"? You know, don't you shouldn't mourn very much for the dead one. You should be rejoiceful. You know, they're in heaven
Right.
with
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
Father.
You know,
Yeah.
we've talked to people, you know, that can see the spirit world or sense it, you know, kind of like what Jane was talking about. And they say, you know, they've been with loved ones or other people have asked them there to the hospital at a time of their family members passing, and they see the heavens open up,
Mm-hmm.
and almost like it explains in Jacob's ladder or stairway where they come down, you know, the angels. And they said they have actually experienced seeing loved ones
Mm-hmm.
come in while this person is dying to greet their spirit or soul, and they take them with them. And you know, it's all their grandmothers and grandfathers and mom and dads or whoever's passed before them. They go there to greet them and take them with them,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually see the spirit or the actual, you know, it's just like we would think, you know, we see a ghost or a shadow. This person actually really sees that person there coming to greet this person that just lost their life or ended their life that day, and to help them go into the afterlife.
Well, there's so many stories that, you know, loved ones are in the room and they're saying, you know, what are you looking at, mom or grandma or whoever they're talking to? And they'll say, I'm seeing so and so. You know, family members, they're here. They're wanting
Hmm.
to take me home. And there's stories of, you know, before they pass, telling the family members what they're seeing.
Yeah. I think animals pick it up too because I've noticed
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
when
Oh
we
yeah.
had dogs, when
Mm-hmm.
we had dogs growing up, they'd be just staring into nothing. You'd be going like, I don't see nothing, you know. They'd be in the house. And our cats do the same thing. And my little
Yep.
5-year-old, well, she's 5. You've seen her here across my shoulder there. Uh, when she was smaller, she would stare at something, you know, like something was there. And
Yep.
it's it is
There's lots of
amazing.
there's lots of stories where adolescents, you know, we believe that you're growing with these gifts or these spirits, you know, able to do this,
Yeah.
you
You're
know.
you're born into, you know, you've got memories and, you know, as a young child. Yeah, like you were saying.
So you know, people talk about their kids, we think they're imaginary friends, or that's what we
Mm-hmm.
put them as, but they're actually loved ones or spirits. I mean, it might not be your family, it could be some other spiritual being that they're talking to, but usually it's loved ones or family members coming back to watch over the family or visit or whatever. And that's what these little kids are picking up, because they haven't been dumbed down or lost their gifts yet. I mean,
Right.
the older you get, if you don't pay attention and keep practicing this gift, you eventually you lose it.
Yep. Older you
Yeah.
get, you forget about all these things and you're not able to see it. And then you're going to school and, your parents are going, oh, that's just a dream that you had, or you're just imagining it. This didn't really happen. And you just go, oh, well, I'm just crazy. I just imagined that.
So
Right.
all the chemicals they're putting in our processed food or in our waters, whether it's fluoride or whatever, to clog up our pineal gland, so we don't have these gifts no more. Young kids haven't had that yet to them. They're still pretty new and haven't been introduced to all the chemicals yet that we have as growing up as adults.
Right.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, my wife breastfed, so the kids never ate Similac or nothing like that, until they was old enough to eat baby food.
Right. Yeah.
But all
Same
three
here.
of
I
them
didn't.
did
I
it.
didn't want my. You don't know what's in that formula. I didn't want any of my kids to have any man-made stuff. So
Right.
yeah, I breastfed all three of my kids. They got the natural stuff. I know what they were getting.
Right. And it's better for them anyway. They get all them
Mm-hmm.
antibodies and stuff.
Yep.
There's an example right there.
Yeah, Carson. My mother said it on her deathbed. Her and I watched the angel come into her room to take her home. My mom and I only saw this, no one else in the room. Mom left Earth that night.
Yeah.
I believe
I've heard
that.
so many stories like that. I got goosebumps right now. There's so many stories of, witnesses, family members actually, kind of seeing it or, believing grandma saw something.
Mm-hmm.
Just like earlier we said, everything's all connected. I mean, once you concentrate and whatever form you use, whether it's meditation or whatever, and you start to do your raise your consciousness or get your body and your soul to a higher frequency, you start to attract these things like the UFOs. You might start having more sightings of UFOs. You might have sightings of Bigfoot or Dogman, cryptid, paranormal. And I believe the same thing with these people that saw their loved ones or angels come into the room as they're passing away. I think it's your frequency.
And they're open to it.
Once you're in that dying process, your mind frees up. You don't have to worry about this body and staying alive no more. Your soul is able to be what it was meant to be. And I think, this attracts that energy.
Right. Well, I know when my brother was, probably 3 or 4, he was staying with my grandma. Well, my great grandmother's, it was her house, and then my grandmother moved in there. And he woke up one night, like, he was asleep, woke up, and he said that my great grandmother and my great grandfather were standing in front of his bed, in front of the bed, looking down on him. And he wasn't old enough to remember my great grandmother, or I don't even think he even knew my great grandfather. I barely knew him, And I thought, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think in his spirit he knew who they were.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he described them and everything to my mom and dad.
Wow, that's cool.
I mean, if you talk about the Akashic record, there's just so many downloads, and we have spirit guides, we have guardian angels, whatever you want to call them, whatever your belief is, and they give us information. They, and when we're kids, it's like we were talking about, is having friends that nobody else can see, and they tell them stuff, and they, that as kids, we think they're just crazy stories or making stuff up. No, they're having somebody tell them that, or they're getting a download from their spirit guides or their family members, helping them out as they're young and developing.
Yeah, I believe that 100%. And then the school gets them and indoctrinates them with, their.
Yeah, that's what I said. You get the indoctrination, and they start dumbing us down and telling us we're crazy, or trying to, they kind of scare you, and then not to tell them these stories, because they, other kids make fun of you or whatever. Then you start getting in the system, and you'll start getting into processed foods and the chemicals, and fluoride in your water and whatever else, the irons and everything else that they put in there on us. And then you got chemtrails falling down on us. It's like, it's a never ending battle against our souls and our, our abilities and special gifts.
But this
Right.
body that we have is an amazing body. We can heal ourselves. If people don't rely on just doctors and stuff, they get a sniffle, they go to prompt care. You rely on your body and let it fight its course for a couple of days before you go to a doctor. It heals itself.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
That's how we
we're
have
not
the immune
against
system.
doctors or medicine. I mean, there's times that you actually really do need
Yes.
somebody
Yeah,
to perform
yeah.
surgery or your, whatever it is. I mean, there is times for that, but it seems like anymore. And I've noticed my daughter and other people, young parents, is like, as soon as something happens to a kid,
Oh, prompt care.
automatically go to the doctor, go get
Mhm.
medicine, go get whatever, who knows what's in that medicine anymore these days. It's not like when we were growing up,
Right.
penicillin was penicillin.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
growing up, our family doctor, he did everything. He gave birth to us kids. He was our family doctor. He did everything. And I do remember, I mean, we would be home from school sick with 102, 103 fever. And she would call the doctor. And I remember her coming in the room and telling me, no, Dr. So-and-so, don't really remember his full name, said, you wait until 3 days. If that fever don't break for 3 days, bring her into the office. No,
Yep.
these days, oh my gosh, they panic. Oh my gosh, my kid has 101 fever. Don't worry about it. It's
Right.
104, 105. All right, yeah, panic. But it's a normal thing to have a fever on and out and be sick, and then your body fights it off.
Yeah, I got 3 girls in the first. The oldest one, we was kind of like that at first, you know.
Yeah,
Well, she got that roseola. I don't know if you ever
yeah,
seen it before. The sponsor scared us to death. It was like, oh my god, we gotta get her emergency room. Doctor's
right.
like, there's nothing wrong with her. She can go home. She just got roseola.
Yeah,
It'll clear up. And after that,
yeah.
the other two's like, you're fine.
And
Give him cold medicine, give him cough medicine, give him some baby, not aspirin, but whatever they've got.
Oh well,
I
yeah,
still think aspirin was probably the good stuff. They got rid of the aspirin and
I
told us it
know.
was bad for us.
That's
even
what
when
we
I
grew
was
up on.
growing up, doctors would still tell you about home remedies.
Yes.
Go home and do this. And you don't think grandma had the mustard pack or the salve, by accident. I mean, that stuff all worked,
Yep.
and they just don't want us to
Yeah.
do that anymore.
Yeah, I remember getting the chicken pox when I was young, and my
Mhm.
my mom and dad worked, so I stayed at her house. Holy crap, that was a big mistake. They had that old vent on the floor because the coal stove was in the basement. She
Right.
set me over that and put that damn sleeping bag over top of me. I thought I was going to die. But you know what?
Yep.
It worked. It really worked. That heat gets rid of them
Yep.
chicken
Yeah.
pox. Yeah.
Yeah, we had chicken pox. I had measles. I had mumps. It was very rare that anything happened to the kids. So they just, even my kids had chicken pox before they came out with the chicken pox vaccine. They were trying to get my youngest to have it. And I went, no, she had chicken pox already. She's not getting that vaccine.
Right.
So they just don't want kids, our bodies fought everything off. It was no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. There's just so many doctors now, and a lot of them scare the hell out of you because
Yeah.
you're like, do I trust them or not? Oh, I know here in West Virginia we had them what they called them granny witches. All over the
Yep.
Appalachian Mountains. They never went to the doctors unless you was like something very, very serious. We cut a limb off or something, but they treated all that stuff
Sometimes even if you were dying, they still tried to practice on you to,
Yeah. Yeah, they said there's a
All
Bible
kinds
verse
of,
that you can say, and if you get burnt, and it'll take the heat out of the burn, or yeah, take the heat out
Yep.
of the burn, and then the bleeding and all that. I was like, wow. Yeah, the
all
most
these old wives' tales, and we're slowly losing all of these folklores and wives' tales and
yeah,
all these home remedies, or you go out and pick this certain weed that everybody's killing in their backyard when you can
mhm.
put that on a bee sting or a bug bite and it goes away. All these old legends are going away slowly.
I mean, it's just like everything else, though. Whatever you practice, you wholeheartedly, with your soul and mind, have to believe in
Yeah.
what you're doing. I mean, it's just like the stories, of people putting a silver cross in front of a vampire. Well,
Right.
if you don't actually believe in that or have that faith in you that that cross is a symbol of protection for your faith and for your body and soul, then and that vampire entity knows that, and they thought, well, you don't have no power. You don't
Right.
believe that yourself. What
Right.
But once you put something into it, whether it's your soul and your creator instilled that in you, and that's the power that you're using, not necessarily yourself,
Right.
but that's when they realize, they know. But if you
Yeah.
don't believe it, it's just like, whatever.
I
I think
remember.
that's why some people see Sasquatch and some people don't see Sasquatch. Some people see UFOs, other people don't. I
Right.
think it's the level of energy and frequency and vibration that everyone is on different levels.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never seen a Sasquatch, but I have seen a UFO, or what I thought was a UFO. I mean, it was a bright
Right.
light that moved very, very fastly, like up and down and side to side.
Right.
But
What
yeah,
else? Yeah, what else would do that?
yeah, there's not no airplane I ever seen could move that fast,
Yeah.
and such a short distances up and down and stuff. But yeah, I remember getting stung by bees. Hell, go get you some mud. Go make some mud outside and rub it on it, and it worked.
Yeah.
No,
It worked.
I grew up with baking soda paste. We went
Yeah.
in, you got baking soda, tiny little bit of water, and you turned it into a paste, put that on that bee sting, it was gone.
Right.
Silver spoon is a
Silver
silver
spoon will
spoon.
take the sting
Yep,
away.
just a real silver spoon, and put it on there, and you can feel that sting go away. But
Of
people
course.
just
Well,
they want to spray medicine, and who knows what you're putting actually on your skin.
I mean, you can't use a silver plated spoon. I mean, not many people can afford it. That's another thing they
Right,
took away from us.
yeah,
They don't
silver.
want us to know the properties of silver and
Mhm.
copper and all that, and the properties they have and what it can do.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. 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 And even mustard. My girlfriend showed me the mustard on a burn. It really worked.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
was,
yeah.
mean, there's stuff like that when you're bleeding or got a cut. It's just a natural coagulant, and it'll stop your bleeding. I mean, you just got to look that stuff up and
Hmm.
pay attention to it. Native Americans have all that oral history, and some people have written it down. You just got to search for it and find out what herb and what plant
Yeah.
does what root does what is it good for, how do you apply it, how do you make it, prepare it.
The most nutritious weed out there, which is not a weed, but the most nutritious, healthiest plant that's out there is the dandelion. The root is amazing, and the flower you can eat, the leaves you can eat. But what do? You see one dandelion in your yard, you're spraying the whole yard and killing every single thing out of there. I don't do that. I've got so many baby bunnies that are hopping around. We've got a drought right now too. There's not much green. All the grass is gone, and
uh-huh.
they will go after all the dandelions and grab the leaves and
Clover.
and yeah, the clovers, and they're like a guinea pig or whatever you see in videos. You see his little stick and you see and eating it all down. Well, that's their food. Even clover flowers. They went after all the clover flowers. Everybody is killing everything, and it's for wildlife.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
going out I remember going out in the woods, and whether grandma or grandpa would be with you, and you'd pick the honeysuckle or you'd pick the bluebells and suck
Oh yeah.
the sweetness out of it. It's all natural stuff. And,
Mhm.
we lose all that stuff, how to survive or, if you're out in the woods and you don't have water, well, there's plants out there that you can actually use the liquid or the syrup from it, to survive and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember my neighbor used to make dandelion wine. Oh my god, that was good.
Mm.
But she would use everything, and like
Yeah.
that. What is that poke? Poke. Somehow
Yeah, pokeberry.
she makes some
Yeah,
kind
poke
of
salad.
poke
Poke
salad.
salad's
Yeah.
still pretty popular
Yeah.
down south.
Yeah. We like ranch. I like ranch up here. The wild leeks. Man,
Well,
they're
you
good.
can get the dandelion head and dip it in egg and flour and fry it in the skillet. It almost reminds you of morel mushrooms.
Really?
So
Morel
they are,
mushrooms.
yeah, it's edible. The whole plant is edible, and everyone just think, oh, it's a weed. No, it's not a weed. It's one of the most healthiest, nutritious plants that are out there in your backyard.
I mean, if you get, we have grapevines. My dad had grapevines, and we transplanted them here at our place. And you can use the leaves, as like a wrap. And it
Hmm.
could be almost like a lettuce. And
Hmm.
there's so many kind of flowers that you can eat, and there's so many kind of leaves, that are beneficial and have the minerals and the antioxidants in them. It's just unbelievable what nature has for us,
Yeah.
but we've kind of lost all that.
The elderberry flowers, the elderberry itself is very good for syrups, but people collect the flowers and make wine out of that also. And I've never
Yeah, I've
tried
had.
that, but I have seen it in the store. I've heard of elderberry wine,
It's good. I've
flower
had
wine.
homemade.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, mine are blooming right now. I've got tons of blooms. So it makes me wonder, maybe I should try some elderberry flower
It's
wine and
it's
see how
it's
that turned
it's
out.
really good. I've drunk it. A friend of mine, we was bear hunting, and he brought me a bottle because I don't drink liquor, so and
Oh,
man, was
cool.
it good.
Yeah,
But
I tried it with our grapes last year, and it kind of turned into vinegar. I mean, it was good wine at first, and then it turned into vinegar. But it's instead of apple cider vinegar, it's more of a grape tasting vinegar, and we just use it as a vinegar.
yeah, yeah. Hey, people used to live off the land. I mean, not like
Yeah.
now. I mean, I remember my grandparents growing
Well, it's hard to live off the
big
land
big
now. The
garden.
chemtrails, everything's covered with poison and who knows what all. And, you can't even go to the field and find mullein or anything like that because the farmers use all the spray. All these plants have stuff on it. So
Yeah.
it's almost kind of dangerous living off the land, even making a garden. Oh yeah, grow your own food. Well, what's being landed on it? You
Right.
know, So even with rainwater, they think, oh, rainwater's healthy. Well, it's bringing down all the chemtrail and stuff up there. So
Yeah.
that's all in the rainwater. So that's why you see spots on all the plants and leaves, and the trees are dying off. And so,
Yeah, I notice even the corn. If you know, I don't know about out there, but around here, when we get corn on the cob, it's not as big as it used to be. You remember? I
yeah,
remember when I was a kid. I mean, corn could get really big,
Right.
yeah,
Yep.
and anymore they're smallish kind of. I think that's probably from
Yeah,
all
they're
them
pretty
chemicals.
skinny.
Yeah,
Yeah, the diameter is not as big
yeah.
as it used to be.
yeah, that's for sure. Um, you guys seen any cryptids out there yet?
I
Or
haven't seen, but I do have suspicions that we do have a clan of Sasquatch, and they've been around for a couple of years because I've heard strange noises. I sense something watching me. You just kind of feel, okay, something's out there watching you. And I just have picked up strange things, or, my goats acting up in the barn. They don't want food. They're looking over in the corner, and keep paying attention over there. And it's not dark yet, so not skunks or anything like that. So I talked to Robin McCrae,
uh-huh.
and she did verify that we've got a clan here. She told me the name, which I won't reveal.
All right.
And I think they do come from time to time, and they might be in the barn once in a while. I've heard weird, like I said, strange noises and squeaks that normally I would not ever hear. And I have not heard that squeak at all this summer. It sounded like a old wooden barn antique hinge going ee.
Yeah.
And it was just like two houses down, and there is pine trees in both the neighbors' backyards. And I was kind of
Wow.
thinking, what is that? There is nothing down there. They don't have sheds, and there is nothing. And so Duke, on World Bigfoot Radio, he said, "Oh yeah, they like to squeak." And then Robin also said that they kind of giggled when she was mind speaking them.
Mm-hmm.
That they kind of giggled and said, "Yeah, we like to squeak at her." So that's when it dawned on me, like, "Oh my God, that's what I heard. That was that squeak." And it wasn't windy or anything. And if it was like a windmill or somebody's swing, I would hear it all the time because I'm
Yeah.
out there
Yeah.
for hours. And so yeah, I haven't heard it yet, but once in a while I might hear a small little like tree knock or something. We're about a mile and a half from the Illinois River. So we've got, and then fields. So we're on the very edge of our town. So we're kind of a prime spot. But yeah, I want to see one. I try to talk to him. I said, okay, I'm ready to see you, even if it's in the field. Walk across the cornfield. But yeah, I am ready to see them. But I think they're around.
Oh yeah,
but they can mimic a lot of sounds. They can mimic
Yep.
coyotes. They can
Strange
mimic
coyotes,
dog
yeah.
barks. They mimic owl sounds. It's amazing what they can do. I mean,
And that's one thing I noticed this summer is, if you're in town, you always hear dogs barking, like a couple streets away here and there.
yeah.
But how often do you hear a dog bark one time? Woof!
No,
And that's it. And I'm going, and then,
no,
I hear it again. Woof! And I'm going, no, dogs, when they start barking, it's more than just one bark. That's something that I am hearing. And then even the coyotes, sometimes they don't sound like coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they're down at another farm that's about a mile down the road. And it was like they're yipping and hollering and this and that, but I kind of went, that don't sound right. Then
Right.
about a mile away on the other side of that field, I heard this deep, low, oh, kind of like a deep, low howl.
Mm-hmm.
And it still didn't almost sound like coyotes. The other ones shut up. And I'm going, okay. So just like the leader told them to knock it off or
Right.
something. But I know what coyotes sound like. They sound like drunk Indians.
Mm-hmm.
They yip and holler and scream. And, this was different. We don't have wolves around here, I don't think. We might,
supposedly.
but supposedly maybe.
Right.
But yeah, I just kind of pick up like, yeah, that almost sounds like a Sasquatch mimicking.
But just like any other state, Illinois, has had its sightings.
Yeah.
We have dog man in certain areas. We have all kinds of Sasquatch, up in the woods and down south. There was famous cases of Sasquatch and
Mothman in Chicago.
Mothman now in the whole Chicago vicinity, and that even comes down to us. Where there's
really?
sighting after sighting of a winged bat person or humanoid, and a lot of them are Mothman, and some of them they describe them almost like a gargoyle or a bat that almost looks human. And
they're still getting reports in the Chicago area for Mothman. You're just not hearing it, on the news or anything. But I wish we knew what that one guy was that he did the report. He took reports and he said weekly basis you're getting like 1, 2, 3 reports up there.
Yeah, there's a guy.
So it's still happening. It's still happening in the Chicago area.
There's a guy named Tobias Whalen. I think that's his name. I think he's wrote a book on the Mothman of Chicago.
That sounds right. That sounds like the right name.
He was on somebody's show, and I don't even remember whose show it was.
I think it was Lon Strickler. He was on. I forget the name of his Lon's show now.
Well, you can go online and people are there's a Google map where people are taking all the sightings and putting them on the map of where it's happening. It's just like dots of McDonald's restaurants on that map, and these are all the sightings of Mothman and cryptids and everything. The whole map's just filling up.
Yeah, it's not just around O'Hare. It's not just around the airports. They're seeing them in town. And what did Brown Dwarf say about Mullen?
He's got tons of money.
Okay. Yeah, because I may talk to Brown Dwarf because I'm looking trying to find some, and I don't want to just pick it, by a field because like I said, you just don't know what's
been sprayed
on it.
Yeah.
These farmers, they're all spraying. I mean, when this farmer sprays my field, I lock up my goats, I lock up my chickens, I close their doors. I don't even want them outside when they're spraying that field back there.
Yeah, well, you guys are in a big farming community, like lots of big farms.
We're living a tiny little town, and it's a farm town. We're surrounded by bean fields, cornfields, hay, wheat, you name it. Yeah, so we're on the edge of town, on the north part of our town, and we've got like 5 fields before that next road, which is a county road.
But then on both, we're in the Illinois Valley, and so there's tree lines, on each side of the river. There's plenty of forest, and woods that, you know, anything can hide in or disappear in and live, you know, and just all kinds of hollows and places
Yeah.
like that. You know, of course, we got the water source. We got all kinds of ponds and lakes around here, but then you got nothing but fields beyond that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I figure it's probably all gets sprayed too with some stuff, you know, to keep
Oh
the weeds
yeah.
down. Like I've been up to Ohio, you know, the big cornfields, they spray them things. And God knows what you're getting anymore if you don't grow it yourself, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, that's what I try to do. But this year we're having such a drought. I'm barely having any of my seeds pop up and grow. And if they are popping up, I think they're starting to dry out because of no rain. And I'm even though I'm watering them, you know, by hand,
mm-hmm.
my garden is the worst I've ever seen. You know, so we have a chance tonight. By the time we get off, there's supposed to be a chance of storms coming in. Now it might be about 9 weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been quite a while since we've had any rain
Wow.
here.
You guys ain't
Our
had no
grass is
rain?
nothing but yellow.
What's
Wow.
that?
You guys ain't had rain for 9 weeks?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, we've had little sprinkles, but no steady rain, no, you know, like we'd normally
no,
have. I mean,
no.
normally we'd have a storm come through, you know, and it rained steady or, you know, nice for an hour or two or even more. But now this year, for whatever reason, the storm will come through, dump this a little sprinkle or maybe a heavy rain real quick, then gone.
Yeah,
So it's not, we're not getting the moisture in the ground that we normally have.
nobody's mowing. The only thing that's green out there is pretty much any weeds that are growing, and everyone's yard is nothing but solid yellow and crunchy, and it even hurts being barefoot. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're Midwest is really bad right now. Now Iowa, you know, they're getting it. It seems like Illinois, Indiana, our little area right here, we keep getting missed.
Yeah,
So
see,
all these
we've been
storms are
getting,
down south. You guys are getting it out. East is
yeah.
getting it.
Texas,
Iowa's getting it, but no, we keep getting it missed.
Wow. Jeez, whiz. That's a lot of days without no good rain, you know, that soaks in the
Yep.
ground.
No, it's
That's
bad for the robins too. There's no worms. Yeah,
wow.
just so yeah, it hasn't been good. So hopefully we'll get some rain tonight, you know, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to get this grass started growing again. We're going to need a lot of rain before everybody's yards get green again and start growing.
I guess it's that way out. Brown Door said it's a bummer. Sounds like it's out West Coast, so it must be dry out there too.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, you know, all these cryptids are just like our animals, like the deer and everything, you know, they migrate where they need to migrate. You know, if everything's turning brown and dying up, you know, they're going to move on.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then as we get the rain and stuff starts turning green again, you'll start seeing the deer come out, and you'll start seeing Sasquatch or whatever. I mean, they're the same way. They migrate to wherever their food sources are going to be.
I have
yeah.
considered a rain dance. I was thinking about it. I've got Native American bells, my ankle bells, and I've got flutes and I got drums, and I was so considering going out by my garden, just start going nuts, going, okay, please, we want rain. So yeah, it's
Well, if
bad.
it works, I'll start hiring you out. Well, there'll be a lot of people.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Now, do you guys raise goats? Do you make goat milk and all that stuff, or
Nope.
you just raise goats?
No, we've got fixed boys, and I just got 3 baby goats, and one is a little female, but she's not. I guess you don't really start milking them unless you get them pregnant first,
Yeah.
and then you got to keep milking them and keep milking them. So, but yeah, this is the first little female goat that I've had. All the other ones are just typical boys that they're weed eaters. That's why I've got them.
Yeah.
I mean, I
they're
trim
good.
trees, and I mean, I used to have this burn pile that was huge every year. Well, no, I give them everything. They eat anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're great for. I remember having a couple goats growing up. The only bad thing about they jump up on the car all the time. Dad finally got rid of them.
In a pen. We keep them corralled pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, we had this one female goat. She'd jump up on the car every time. And all Dad would get mad.
These 3 baby goats that we got, there's so much fun watching baby goats. And my biggest goat he's a Nubian. He's the size of a miniature donkey. I mean, this guy is huge. He is big. Yeah, he's a big boy. Well, when he's laying down, these, I got to get a picture. But there's times that they're hopping on top of him and he's going, you know, and getting them off. But yeah, I'm waiting for them to be outside on top of the barrels and just leap and climb on top of Clyde, you know, because that's what his name is.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
remember. I took care of the neighbor's goats for a week, and one night when she come back, they went on vacation, and she brought me some goat's milk. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but damn, goat's milk's good. And then
yeah,
she made
soap,
she had goat's milk and butter, and she made some kind
soap,
of
Yeah, we make cheese out of
soap.
it. I
yeah,
mean, this anything like a
yeah.
normal dairy product.
Yeah,
Goat milk soap is amazing.
they say
And
it's good for babies too, like
yeah,
newborn babies.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah,
what do
once
you?
again, like we were talking, we got all the natural minerals and antioxidants, hopefully, you're feeding your animals natural or, pure stuff and not anything with too much, GMO or
Yeah.
HMO if you want human growth hormones. And, so obviously that's going to be great for a baby's skin, a
Mm-hmm.
newborn. You're not putting anything, chemically on it or
Yeah.
introduce them to anything.
Right. What do you guys been into, Gerald? I mean, what? I know you got a bunch of shows going right now. You got yours, and then you're on with William. What, Saturday and Sunday, and
Yeah. And we're doing some guest spots, just like you. We're getting invited to a lot of shows now, and
Mm-hmm.
we've been having guests, every Sunday, so far, and we got Monster Radio coming on this Sunday.
oh, you got
You
Ryan
know,
coming in. Oh
yeah,
man, Ryan.
Yep,
Ryan's coming on
yep. We got
Sunday. We're
Ryan.
gonna talk about cryptids and wendigos and skinwalkers, and we're deep into all this stuff. We've studied stories and legends about paranormal and mythology and cryptids and Bigfoot and Mothman and like Jane and the sound healing and instruments. And I mean we're just all over the board. We're by far no experts in anything. We have our own theories, and we try to dig in or listen to as many people as we can and try to put the little pieces of the puzzle together. And sometimes it makes sense to us, and other times it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, possible, but
Well, you got to go with your gut. You got to go with your own critical thinking, and use your
Right.
own brain and come to your own conclusion. And sometimes keep your opinion to yourself. Just because you think some way doesn't mean you're right.
Right.
Just nobody's right and nobody's wrong. Everyone is just choosing what they want on their own plate, in life.
Right. Right. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, you guys are doing pretty good. You guys are getting up there quick. You guys
yeah,
got
it
a good
seems like
show going.
we haven't really been having guests that long, or we've done our podcasts, and it seems like we're starting to gain every
Yeah.
day a little more, and
Right.
I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. We're just trying to have a relaxed conversation like we're having with
Hmm.
you, like we're sitting across the kitchen table,
Yeah, that's what it's
we're
about.
not
You can't, if you
Yeah.
we're
can't have
not
fun while you're doing
judgmental
it.
about anybody's theories or what they're saying, is
Remember, just being ourselves. If they don't like us, they don't have to watch.
That's it.
Just
That's it. That's the way I see it.
those who are in your chat, our chat, anyone else's chat, they're meant to be in there. So
Right.
if they don't like it, well, they can just kind of click out and just leave. It's okay. Not everybody's going to like us. Trust me. We've
Right.
we've had plenty of people in our life let us know, like, oh, you guys are weird. Okay, fine. We've got YouTube friends now that like us. It took YouTube to find friends. Oh
This is
boy.
nice, We can talk. You can talk about anything, That's
Yeah,
what I
right.
like about it.
that's what our show's like. Yeah, we just talk about anything.
Right. That's for sure.
Well,
So
we kick back on.
You guys got
Huh?
Ryan coming on tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'll be a good show. Ryan's so knowledgeable, man. He knows so much stuff. I don't
So
know
I'll
how
be
some of
on
them.
I'll be on Dennis's show again tomorrow morning, and on there
Dennis and William.
try to be there every weekend with Dennis and William
William.
Nighthawk and Dennis Carroll. I got them backwards.
Right.
Oh boy.
And then once in a while, I work second, so it's hard to be on their other shows. But once in a while, I'll take off, or I'm off for whatever reason. Then I'll be on their evening shows with them
Yeah.
too. And Dennis is getting ready to start his own
Yeah.
podcast, so he'll be adding a show to our platform and be hunting the shadows, everything that lurks in the shadows.
That's gonna be good.
Yep.
Dennis is another one, man. He is like an encyclopedia of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He knows so
yeah. I
much.
talk to him almost every day, and it's fun listening to him talk about everything. And he's just such a wealth of knowledge. And that show is going to be the same way. He's going to talk about all of his investigations and all of his findings through the years. He's going to be bringing up all the stories and
He's been what 50 some years.
50 some years.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was my first guest. We did demonology because I just thought it was neat, something different.
He was our first guest.
He was our first guest. Yeah. He
Was
was our
your
first.
first guest?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's so knowledgeable. Like he could speak for days, and I don't
I know.
think it's the same subject.
Yeah.
And William too. He's really got the gift.
Yeah, I think this morning they said they got 110 years between them of experience in the paranormal and all this stuff.
Cool.
Right. I try to keep up with everybody, but it's so hard when you're trying to watch, William.
There's so many podcasts and channels now. And like you said, you used to have, when I was growing up, okay, you heard about Bigfoot and, you had books or you had books about UFOs, Now it's just like everybody's across the whole field talking about paranormal, cryptids, vampires, everything. And, there's like every night there's like 3 or 4 shows on at 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Yeah. So, you spend your whole day watching reruns on all this stuff,
Right.
You try to pop in everyone's chat. You may not be in the chat the whole show, but at least you're in there saying, hi, I'm here for a while. And then you pop on somebody else and saying hi. And at least everyone's supporting everyone. That's, I love this community.
I do too. I'm a nervous talker. I'm not really, a big talker, but I like doing it. I just like talking to people, about different things.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Sheldon and Dawn.
Well, good. Hi, Sheldon and Dawn. Yeah, Brown Dwarf's been in here pretty much the whole time also. That's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of names, you start to recognize when you're in all these people's chats, then we start seeing them coming in our chats when we have our shows, they just kind of follow and pop in and say hi. And everybody's just so kind and generous to us and loving. And
well, it took quite a few months. Not too many people knew at the beginning that we were a married couple. I mean, you see GERYL Sound, you see Midwest Night Watchers. Well, then people started realizing, oh, you guys are a married couple? Then they find out, well, I'm actually Mrs. Midwest. I'm actually the one that is mainly uploading all these videos. Even though I bet, but I thought you were sound. Well, yes, I've got a music channel too.
Right.
So,
you got both channels. You got 2 channels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fun to do. I love doing it. But like I said, it's just like sitting across the table from you talking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have any set agenda or any kind of schedule we go by. I mean, we try to do our shows, obviously, like everybody else at the same time, same day during the week, but we don't really have any strict things. If you want to go off on a rabbit hole and follow that trail, that's where we'll go to. Because like I said, we just love all these subjects and follow them for years, even though we haven't been on YouTube or any shows for years. We've still read into it and followed up on stories. And
yeah,
we just like talking to other people of like minds, and
I love listening to other people's experiences.
Yeah.
And we started our show because I think it's time that we opened up finally and share our experiences too. I think we all need to open up and just let it out. Nobody's going to judge anybody in this community. If they do, then they're not a part of our community, because all of us need to share our experience.
Yeah, I had Brian Seach on the other night when we was talking about here in West Virginia, people just do not want to talk about. They don't want to talk about their encounters. They don't want to talk about UFOs. They don't want to talk about Bigfoot, because he's from Pennsylvania, so he said they're kind of open about it up there. But they moved down here,
Well,
and he's trying to get people to talk to him. He said it's really
I, I
hard.
think I think the stigmatism's still there about people being kind of afraid to say anything to them because they'll think, "Oh, you're crazy" or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But since 2020, when everybody was at home and started looking for stuff to do online, and people starting all these podcasts, you can be Joe Blow and tell people your experiences, and nobody will. It's not like telling your neighbor that you have to live with every
Right.
day the rest of your life. These are people that are open to experiences, open to the things that you believe in and they believe in. And you might have little different theories here and there, but pretty much everybody's been kind and
Yeah.
they know the same subjects and everything. So I think it's really opened up the whole community, where
Mm-hmm.
people are able to get on there and actually open up and tell their experiences and get it off their chest and find other people that are welcoming and have the same kind of experiences.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had anybody to come on, in the chat to say anything bad about anything that the guests have said. Never, not one time. It's been pretty nice. But
Yeah, we've had a pretty good chat ourselves.
yeah,
I have seen it in other chats. I've been on YouTube watching YouTubes for so many years, and I have
uh-huh.
seen some chats that I tried typing in, nobody would say hi or recognize me, or
Right, right,
and so that was going on for years. But then this past, about a year and a half now, to Jessica and all these other people, I started typing in. Oh my gosh, they started saying hi to me. Like,
hmm,
wow, this community is different.
yeah, it
And
is.
then you recognize them in someone else's show. Everyone saying hi, and it just kind of went on from there. And I went, wow, just people are finally saying hi and recognizing you. But some chats, I've seen fighting. I've seen some rude people. I've
Oh
seen
yeah,
people banned and deleted, and so
right.
I've seen it. But this community, yeah, there's something special
But
about this community.
overall, the Bigfoot and paranormal and cryptid community and all this stuff, everybody's been so nice and
Yeah.
welcoming and friendly. They say, like I said, they say hi and they send hearts and love out to everybody. And
And we're on
Right,
everybody's show. You're on everyone's show. We're on everyone's show. Everybody else is on everybody's show. And
right,
all of a sudden Brown Dwarf's on five shows that week, and then
right,
next week
yeah,
yeah.
right.
Everyone makes their rounds.
Yeah, that's the
It's
truth. It
cool.
is. It's just everybody makes that rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's talking to
Brown
everybody.
Dwarf's too cool not to be on everybody's shows.
Right, yeah, I like Brown Dwarf. He's such a good guy, and man, he gets
Yeah.
some good videos too.
Yep.
I know. I
Crazy
don't know how he's
thing.
doing it. I've been trying. I might have to get sunglasses on or something because I go out there, my eyes are watering, and it's so bright. And I was like,
I
how does
know.
he see those things during the day? I
I
see them at
know.
night. So I don't know how he does it, but I'm trying.
Oh, that's why we're night watchers.
Yeah, we're night watchers.
Yeah,
He's a
night
he's a day
watchers.
watcher. Yeah, he's a day watcher.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, guys,
Oh my.
I appreciate you guys coming on. I really did. It's been a
Well, thanks
blast.
for having us. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
it.
for having us, and it's been a lot of
Anytime,
fun.
anytime you guys want to come on. Yeah, it was a blast. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. Like I
Yep,
had
we
Brown
enjoyed
Dwarf
it
on.
too.
I had Brown Dwarf on. It's just like sitting here talking to, like I said,
Hmm.
across the table. I don't pay
Yeah.
attention to everybody else.
Yeah,
I
that's
try to
why we
keep
do
up
our,
with.
our Wednesday night show, which is kind of like, well, midnight Thursday morning, 12:30. We
Mhm.
focus on the chat. We talk to the chat. We pay attention to them. But our Sunday night show, yeah, we've got a guest, and we keep saying, "I'm sorry, we're ignoring chat, but we're
I
focusing
know.
on our guest."
Yeah.
And we just really can't pay attention to our chat.
So our midnight show on Wednesday specifically for chat. We haven't had
Yeah.
any guests or anything, and any questions or stories. We'll start the subject off, but if they want to change it and talk about something else, then that's what we'll do. And we acknowledge everybody, and we tell them all the time. If you have an experience or a story, reach out to us.
Mhm.
Tell us in comments in the YouTubes or email us, at midwestnightwatchers@gmail.com, and we'll read your story online. If you want to stay anonymous, we'll leave your name out of it, but we'll share your story out there if you want to tell us about stuff.
Yeah, they didn't realize it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you're coming
GERYL
back.
Sounds. I'm Chiro Sounds. I am Mrs. Midwest.
So we lurked in all these people's chats all this time, you know, and never
Yeah.
really used our real names, you
Right.
know. But so now that we have our channel and stuff, we're using our real names and telling the
People's getting to
stories.
know
And
you, yeah. Getting to know who you are, yeah. Sometimes I can't even keep up in some of these chat rooms. I mean,
oh, they
Yeah.
go
it's
by
just
so.
like,
I mean, there's so many. Just keep scrolling up, 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 up.
and then you get all the highs, and you're trying to not forget anybody, you know, and you're like, whoa. I mean, I got my
Oh,
phone people's names that when I bring up one letter, it automatically comes up. You know, I've typed it so many times.
if it's a really good show, you need to lurk and don't even say hi,
Yeah.
because you're focusing on like 20 people. You gotta say hi back to, and you're going, oh man, I just missed 5 minutes of the show. So, yeah, Tiro, yep. I've seen Sheldon and Don and like Blondes and Booze and Rob and Texas Reports and
Yeah.
so yep,
Yeah.
I am Chiro, and also we both run Midwest Night Watchers.
I just happen to go by the Midwest Night
Yeah.
Watchers in the chats.
Yep.
Joe Monk said,
I'm
I'm
not
not
lurking,
lurking.
I'm just shy.
Joe's on. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. You've been lurking. Hi, Joe.
Well, look, now
Oh my!
Sheldon
I
Dawn knows
didn't
who you
know
are
this.
now.
Yeah, word's getting out.
Yeah, where's getting
Word's
out?
getting
Hey, if you
out.
don't know, Midwest Night Watchers has a show.
Right?
We're doing a podcast now. I bet people don't even know that. Like, oh,
yeah,
that's what those people look like.
right?
Yeah, bunch of weirdos.
I didn't know who you was until you started being on with William and Dennis.
Right.
I didn't know what you guys look like. I've never seen
You know,
you.
that was just by happenstance too. You know, we saw.
Yeah.
I think I saw Dennis on somebody's show. Then I saw Williams on somebody's
I
show.
think it was Rob, because you were on Rob's show, and I think William was also on BMR's show.
So I got
And
to
then-
know all
yeah.
these people in chat. Then I started following and asking questions in William and Dennis's show. Then pretty soon they just asked me, "Hey, why don't you come on?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know."
So you're on once in a while, but then all of a sudden it was like every
Now it's like-
Saturday, Sunday.
Now it's like sometimes I even start the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're on Williams. We're on Williams' platform, so it's our show and Williams' show, and whatever he broadcasts comes on our channels. You know, on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and our shows goes on his. And
Well, our first couple shows, we weren't with William. We were doing same thing that you're doing, is the free StreamYard.
Yeah.
And so after about maybe our third or fourth show,
I think it was our third show,
Yeah.
and William got a hold of me. He said, "Hey, brother, I thought you were going to come on my platform and do a show on ours."
so yeah, we
Wow.
just got
Then we switched over and was streaming off of Williams' platform.
Right. Tell everyone how you can get a hold of you and your guys' your
All
Facebook
right.
pages and
What?
your YouTube.
All right,
You
yeah,
said
I do.
Chiro.
I do have a YouTube. I'm not just a Chiro Sounds in chat. I do have a YouTube channel. I play all kinds of instruments. I do Native American flutes, Native American drums. I got tongue drums, hand bands. Once in a while, I'll get my keyboard or guitar out. I got lap dulcimers. I got Chinese flutes. I just have all kinds of things. I'm not a professional. I'm just a gray-haired old lady that I just do videos, upload them, and it was mainly for friends and family.
And there's
Oh.
healing stuff, you know,
Yeah, like
sound
singing
healing,
bowls, yeah.
meditation videos that she makes the music for.
All right, I've got singing bowls. I have 2 gongs that eventually I want to do like a sound bath night. And so then, I started uploading and doing videos of the UFOs. That's when he started Midwest Night Watchers.
Mhm.
So you can catch us there we have Midwest Night Watchers on Twitch and Facebook, and we have a Facebook group. So you're all welcome to join that. And our YouTube channel's growing every day, and
Yep.
we're getting more followings on that, and we're getting invites on all your guys' shows. And You know, so make sure anywhere you go, just put in Midwest Night Watchers, and you'll find us somewhere.
The
Right.
email.
And like I said, you can tell us your experiences or get a hold of us at midwestnightwatchers@gmail.com and let us know what you think, and
Yeah,
we'll talk to you.
I just remember I wanted to ask Chiro something or Jane something there. Have you tried the Tibetan bowls outside while you're
Oh,
watching
yeah.
for UFOs? That was something I wanted to ask you about.
Yep.
Has it?
I tried different things. I was telling you that, since we can't really go live on the broadcast, I just hit record and I just walk away. Well, I'm playing flute in the background or I'm playing drum in the background. And one of these, we uploaded two of them. They're like 29-minute long. And my sister noticed, she was watching. And once I was doing the drums in the background, there was like 5, 6, 7 things that started showing up. And so, yeah, I try singing bowls. I do the hand pan. I try several different instruments. I've done tuning forks. I've done tuning pipes. So, yeah, I'm experimenting with what sounds, could be drawing things in the backyard. That makes me wonder, is that what brought the Sasquatch the last couple of years? Are they hearing some of the music or the hand pan like, oh, what is that? A lot of people don't even know what a hand pan is. And tongue drums is another mesmerizing sound. So yeah, I've been experimenting. So I keep trying to tell people, take a small singing bowl with you if you do go out in the woods. And Sasquatch, just another thing I want is I got a didgeridoo. If anyone knows what a didgeridoo is, Brown Dwarf probably does. Well, you don't have to take this 4-foot long thing, that's a didgeridoo. They do have a small little travel pack size. You can go on Amazon and find these smaller ones that just throws in your backpack. I still wonder if the Sasquatch in them would really like a didgeridoo sound, because that
Yeah,
also has that vibrating, weird noise and stuff.
yeah. That's an
So yeah,
Australian instrument, ain't it?
yes,
Yes.
The
yes.
didgeridoo. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
The Aborigines in the outback in their wild country, that's their musical instrument, and it has a very spiritual meaning.
Yeah.
And that's what they use, that frequency and tone in their songs and in their rituals.
Yeah, so they do make small ones in little backpack sizes and made out of wood and stuff now that you just throw in a backpack. You don't have to take this super long giant didgeridoo with you out in the woods.
Yeah, you can
Right.
get harmonics
Yeah,
and frequencies out of wine glasses. If you
Yeah.
ever watch it, where I think it was Thomas Edison had all the glasses, and he did the wet his finger and did harmonics all up and down the instrument. And so you can make music off of it. You can get frequencies, and there's all kinds of things that are attracted to certain frequencies.
Yep.
Right. Right.
So
I
yeah,
know.
if everybody wants to go and check out our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe and share, just like on your show. I hope everybody likes and shares this video out, and
Yeah.
hit the notification bell.
And if you didn't know I have a channel, feel free to go and subscribe to GERYL Sounds. I had the most subs, but here comes Midwest, our other channel. Midwest went past and went, uh-oh, you went past GERYL Sounds. Well, now we're way past my subscriptions, but I'm going, whoa, wow. Yeah. But, I am just now starting to upload. I took a break for a few months because we were starting this show, our podcast.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I uploaded. Well, if anyone wants to see the baby goats, I did upload a video of the baby goats beating around on the drums and the barrels and stuff like that. And I said, hey, the baby goats are learning percussion. So, it is sound, so yeah, I do have a video of my baby goats on my GERYL Sounds YouTube.
So all our UFO and night sky videos are on our Midwest Night Watchers channel, along with our podcast is also on Midwest Night Watchers. So all of our guests, whether it's Brown Dwarf and Ryan Monserito coming up, and Blondes and Booze and Steve Stockton and Dennis Carroll, we've had them all on there. We got a lot more coming up.
Right, that's for sure. Yeah, it sounds like you guys have been busy. I'm going to go to 2 shows a week for a little bit, and then because I took a break, I had to take a break here for a little while. I just kind of got burnt out on it,
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there
some
for a
things,
while we were on everyone's show, and then we were doing our own show, and then he's doing William's show, and yeah, we almost got like a little burnout, like, oh my gosh, we're just starting, like, we're doing another show.
Between our shows and guest appearances and
Yeah.
William's show, I think we were on almost 7 shows in one weekend.
Yeah,
oh
that week was
my,
busy.
that's a
Yeah, it was
lot.
busy that week.
And people don't understand it really takes it out of you. I mean, that's a lot to do. I mean, I know we're just talking, but when you have another guest on, and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and trying to keep up with everything.
Right.
And I just love all these stories and experiences. I don't want to turn anything down, or
Right.
so it's just so fun, tuning into your shows and Texas Front Porch and Blondes and Booze and Jessica's and Brown Dwarfs, and it's just so many channels that everybody has all these guests and all these cool stories. I don't want to miss out on anything.
Yeah, and you got to turn some down because he works 3 to 11. It takes an hour to drive home. So a lot, he just went, I got to take a day off. Well, eventually he's going to run out of vacation days being on everyone's show. We're not having a vacation. You're just you're on, you're on everyone's show throughout the year.
So that's how we ended up doing the midnight show after I got home from work, and we've had quite a few, people come on, whether from the UK or Australia, and, some night owls that can't sleep or they're on a different work schedule too. They're all starting to show up.
Yeah, I want to get Tombstone on one night. Man, I love you.
Yeah, we love Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a nice guy. Yeah, I've talked to him a few times, just late at night, I seen he's on there and I talked to him. I find that place amazing. He sent me some pictures. But I always thought it was all desert down there. Honest to God, I always thought Australia was just all desert land. But man, it is really beautiful and green in some of the places down there. I really couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and you have the Gold Coast. That's really popular, and they have their lush, almost like I don't know,
prairie.
Yeah, they have their trees and woodlands, but then they have that big outback, that's wild and everything out there tries to kill you.
I know. I'd be scared to live there. I don't like snakes. Spiders don't bother me or nothing, but snakes, nah.
Or get beat up by a kangaroo.
Yeah, I think he was telling me they have the seven most popular or most poisonous snakes live in Australia out of 10.
Yeah,
7 out of 10 of them live there.
Not for me.
No, I'll stick with West Virginia. We get copperheads every once in a while. Maybe a rattlesnake. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. You guys coming on with me tonight.
Yep, it's been fun. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for asking us.
What time is the show tomorrow night with Ryan?
It'll be 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Central our time. So we do our shows every Sunday at 6 p.m. and
so it'd be 7 your time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. Everybody, please go watch it because I'm telling you, Ryan is really, really good at what he does.
Yeah, he was on Blondes and Booze a few weeks ago, and I was just amazed on his stories.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, like I said earlier, we're going to get into the skinwalkers and Wendigo and all kinds of cryptids like that, and who knows where we'll end up. It's kind of like this show.
Right?
We're kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I did not know this. Sheldon said he works with the West Virginia DNR on timber rattlesnake surveys. That's cool.
Wow, nice.
They must be from West Virginia. Are you from West Virginia, Sheldon and Dawn? I live in Morgantown, so I live in the city now. It kind of sucks. I grew up in the hollow all my life. I hate the city.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a little suburb kind of little place, but it's still not the country.
Yeah.
But they must have got off her already. But everybody, please go check out Midwest and GERYL Sounds and show them some love over there. 'Cause I know that they're making their rounds.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Well, you guys all have a good night out there in
Yeah, you
radio
too.
you two land. You guys too have a great night. We'll have to get you back on again. We'll have to
Yep.
do something about
Okay.
cryptids.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let us know. Yeah.
Let us know, and we'll come on, and maybe we'll pick a different subject. Who knows?
Yeah, I think this Thursday I have. Oh my gosh, I forgot already. Amber from Amber's
Oh yeah.
Oh,
from
cool.
Amber's Terror World. I got her coming
Yep.
on, and then I got Justin Decker coming on Saturday night, next Saturday.
All right.
Amber's amazing. I love Amber.
Yeah, she's a West Virginia girl too. She's from West Virginia. I'm trying
Okay,
to
well,
think
she's the one that I was thinking of then.
Yeah.
Yes, Amber's from West Virginia. I knew there was somebody that I watched that was from West Virginia. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, it's Amber.
We've had Marty, we've had Amber, and Jessica's coming up, and
Yeah, Amber's coming up.
we've
in
had
July.
Taryn
Yeah.
Kerper. We've had her from Paranormal Brew, and I mean, there's just so many people out there that have
I know.
podcasts, and it's so great.
Yeah. And we're all friends. If you lose somebody, say, "Oh my gosh, I have to cancel." Well, all you got to do is call a friend and say, "Are you available?" You're gonna just have somebody pop on and just kind of fill in and help you out. So that's
Right.
happened too.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, you guys have a great evening. I appreciate it that you guys come on and did my show with me. And
All right, we'll stay in touch, and
Yeah.
we'll come back
will.
up anytime you want.
Right. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll have you back on, I'm sure.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Well, everybody,
All
y'all have
Thanks,
a good
everyone.
night.
All right. Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.